All right. Hello, everyone. Hope you had a great week, and I hope your weekend's going well for you. I wanted to make this video to introduce the latest release of MiyoLinux, which is another rolling version. This one is openbox, and it's probably going to be my last release for a while because I'm so busy. I wanted to put this one out there for people who may want a rolling release, but maybe you're not that crazy about a tiling window manager. So I thought I'll go ahead and make one using openbox. So this is a rolling release based on Devuan Ceres, and we will get right into it. I'll go ahead and open up the file manager, and we'll look at the release notes. We'll quickly go over them and introduce you to the system. Excuse me. Okay. Notes on this release. Upgrade with care. And basically what that's talking about, this is based on Devuan Ceres, and I give some guidelines that you can go by and hopefully keep you from breaking your system. No one likes a broken system. Just some basic guidelines. I talk about installing app list bugs that will kind of notify you when you run an update. It'll let you know whether there are bugs, and it'll kind of let you know how serious the bugs are. But that can't always be the perfect guide, because what they consider serious may not be that serious to you or your system. So it will list, if there are bugs, it'll list the bugs. It'll give you a short description of the bug and why they are saying it's serious or critical or whatever, however they're designating the bug. And just look at it, look at the bug report. And again, it's just a real short, you're not having to do a thesis or anything. Just look at the bug report. If it doesn't look like it's really going to be that big of a deal to you or your system, go ahead and install the upgrades. Otherwise, you can tell it not to install the upgrades and your system will be fine. Maybe check back in a couple of more days or even a week later and try to run the update again. A lot of times the bug will be fixed by then. Give some other basic guidelines. If it's going to remove packages, you probably don't want to upgrade your system. But I'll go into a little bit more detail than what I just covered. Alright, on this one I did not include a conky or conky control. If you look in the, let me move this over. If you look in the Miyo accessories, there is no conky control. There is no conky on the system. Now I did install the package conky, and my reason is most people have their own conky that they like to use, and if that's the case, then there it is. You don't have to worry about replacing a conky RC file or anything like that. And if you don't want to run a conky, it's not on here. Alright, menus. We have application menus. In addition to the open box menu, which is your right click menu, and D menu, which is kind of like the run command. There's D menu up here at the top. There are also two ROFI menus, and I want to thank Adarsh for that. So what they are, up here on the Tent 2 panel, here's your launcher. If you notice that tooltip, it says left click will be the ROFI menu, right click will be the full screen menu. So I will left click on it, and here is, of course, you get a search bar up here, and you scroll through here. You can use your arrow keys to go through everything, and if you don't choose anything, just click outside the menu and it goes away. Now the full screen menu isn't exactly full screen. I did leave enough room so that the panel still shows, and got a search bar, and if you don't choose an application, you can just click on the launcher again or anywhere up here on an empty space of the panel to get rid of the menu. Now what I do want to point out, let's see, I made two Tint 2 panels, this dark one, and I also made a light colored one, and those Rofi menus will match the panel. I just wanted to show that to you real quick. Of course, it's not going very quick, is it? Come on, Tint 2 settings, you can do it. Alright, here's the Mio Dark. That's the one we're using now. And I do want to point out, all these launchers are the awesome fonts, except this one right here. That's not an awesome font. That's an actual icon. But everything is done with awesome fonts, so just wanted to point that out. But here's Mio Dark, that's the default, and Mio Light. I'm going to make that the default so that you can see the Rofi menus. There's the light colored one and the light colored full screen menu. And as you see, both sets, whether you're using the dark or the light panel, they match whatever the panel color is. Alright, now I do have, this is Ob Menu Generator that I'm using for the open box right click menu. This is Ob Menu Generator. If for some reason you don't want to use Ob Menu Generator, I did supply another menu. And let me open that up. If you open your, let me get these out of the way. If you open your file manager, show hidden files, go to .config, open box, and right here in other menu, there is another different open box menu you can use. If you want to use it, just open that folder, right click on it, copy it, go back to the main folder and paste it in there. Override it, and then do an open box reconfigure. And here's the other menu. It's basically the same menu, it's just you have this one entry here for your applications, and that's using the LXDE menu, applications menu. Now sometimes you might install or uninstall a package, an application, and it may not show up immediately. This is dynamic, but for some reason it may not always show up right away when you install something or remove something. And if that happens, just do an open box reconfigure and it'll show up there in the menu or be removed from the menu. Now this is a manual. Other than that applications, this is a manual menu, so anything you do has to be added or removed. As far as menu entries, you have to do that manually, and unfortunately OB menu is not available in Devuan Ceres. Thanks, Debian. You might could go out and get a deb package for it and try to install it. I don't know. I would try that if you don't want to have to edit the menu by hand. But if you do, you'll have to edit this menu XML file by hand. So just keep that in mind. And if you ever want to go back, oh, and if you do edit that, you'll want to copy that after you've edited it and paste it in here and override it. so that you'll have whatever changes you made saved. If you ever want to go back to the ob menu generator menu, just open up your terminal and do ob menu generator P. This is in the release notes. You don't have to worry about trying to remember this. Just enter this command, ob menu generator P I, and we should be back on ob menu generator, and we are. Okay, whew, got through that. Let's see. How to enable sound with ALSA. I did not include pulse audio or PAVU control, so I did include a pulse if you need it. How to activate the firewall. Screenshots, all screenshots, whether you use the one from the menu or the one using the keybind, all screenshots will show up in your pictures folder. Included the Papyrus folder script if you want to change the color of the Papyrus folders. There's a web browser keybind, which is the Windows key, super key, mod key, however you want to term it, plus B. And I don't have a browser installed on here yet, or I would demonstrate it, but that is a keybind if you want to use it. Whatever your system assigns as the www or XWWW browser, that's what that keybind will open. Miscellaneous notes, what to do if the launchers for install MiyoLinux and welcome to MiyoLinux remain in your system or remain in the menu. MiyoFetch, I guess you noticed that when I opened up the terminal a minute ago. MiyoFetch will show up in your terminal. If you don't want it, I give instructions on how to remove it. Root account doesn't adopt the theme or icons I'm using. If you change the look and feel of the system, it's not automatically going to change the root account to match. Like if you open Synaptic or PCman FM as root, it won't automatically adopt whatever you set your theme to. So that's what this right here is for. Customize look and feel as root under Miyo accessories. And how to use the refractor tools in MiyoLinux, if that interests you. And special acknowledgments. Again, I want to thank Adarsh. Adarsh has some wallpapers in this release. And let me go ahead and show the wallpapers. I made a folder in your home folder, .wallpapers, so it's hidden. But here, these first three are the ones that Adarsh supplied. Let's go ahead and open that so you can see them. Go full screen on it. Alright, there's the first one that Adarsh supplied for MiyoLinux. There's the second one. And there's the third one. And I supplied three. This is an older wallpaper. That's one of my favorites for some reason, so I usually include that in nearly every release. So you get it whether you like it or not. And this is the one, I made this for the Wonderland release. I did go in and change the color of the word MiyoLinux for this one so that it matched just a little bit better. And there was one similar to this for Wonderland, but it said MiyoLinux Wonderland, and I just made this one say MiyoLinux. So those are the wallpapers you'll get. Now, let's see, what else do I want to cover? Oh, this little button right here. Since there's no conky, I put this little launcher right here to show you the basic keybinds. Now there's more keybinds than this, but here's the basic ones to kind of help you peruse your system and do things. Now S for super key is the Windows key. So you get all these to kind of help you, and all this is just a notification. I have it set to last for 1 minute. If you don't want it to show that long, you could go in and adjust the script, or you can just come over here and click it. That's a lot quicker. If you want it to last longer, just put your mouse pointer on top of the notification, and it'll stay there for however long you leave the mouse pointer on there. Alright, so that's about it. Let me think if there's, oh yeah, there is one other thing. Let me show the Autostart file. Power management. Now, out of the box, it's using the XFCE4 Power Manager. If you want to save just a little bit on resources, you can comment this out right here. Comment that line out and uncomment these 2 lines. And basically all that'll do is just keep your screen from turning off. But that will save a little bit on resources. And wallpaper options. You can start out of the box, it's just doing a nitrogen restore for a single wallpaper. If you want to use the wallpaper changer, which is just a script, comment out that line right there and uncomment this line, and then log out and log back in, and it'll cycle through all the wallpapers in that .wallpapers folder. I think I have it set to change the wallpaper every 5 minutes. So it'll cycle through all the wallpapers. And if you want to use that and you have your own wallpapers, the easiest thing to do is just put them in that .wallpapers folder. Have all these different touchpad controls and miscellaneous. I did leave turn on the conky just in case somebody wanted to add their own conky to the system. I left that here in the Autostart file. Alright, that's about it. This is Devuan Ceres Open Box. And, ooh, we're using a lot of, that's one thing I've noticed about Ceres. Well, I've noticed it every time there's a new release of Debian or a Devuan. RAM usage is just slowly getting higher and higher with every release. Now, of course, I am screencasting. I've got GUVC view running. I've got all these different windows that I've been opening and closing, so RAM usage is a little high right now. Normally, when I first boot this system up on the 64-bit, it's booting up at around 250, 260 megabytes. So there you go. This is based on Devuan Ceres, and it's a rolling release, and it's available now if you're interested. Got it in 32-bit, 64-bit BIOS, and 64-bit UEFI. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend, and take care. Thanks a lot.